YouTube, welcome to Cafe Inoma and welcome to our reaction to TODD RUNGREN. We are going to react to the song Can't Stop Running. Let's get started with our reaction to this one. This is requested by our patron Tom. Wow.
Sounds good, sounds good.
It does.
Yeah, but the more that it can't stop running was repeated, it just got boring. It got so boring, just got boring. It got so boring, just so boring. It got so boring, it got boring, so boring, boring, boring. But it sounded good in bits and pieces, yeah, to be honest. The guitar work was exceptional in this. To be honest, that was the only good part about this song for me, once it became so repetitive. It could be used brilliantly. This, just a 20 to 30 seconds of this song could be used brilliantly in a movie scene where a person is running or training for some athletic race where they require to be run a lot. So I think it would fit in beautifully in that, and it would sound like a masterpiece. That 20 to 30 seconds put into a movie scene like that, it would sound like a masterpiece. But apart from that, it was quite boring. By the end of it, even though it sounded so good to begin with, it got very, very boring. Very, 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 very boring for me towards the end of it. It just, certain artists, I guess, they don't listen to their own music. And I know it may sound like an insult, as if they are deaf or something. But honestly, when you hear a song like this, you wonder what was the artist thinking by repeating those lines so much. Sad.
Actually, towards the end, the backup singer's bit was looped so long. That's what almost tries to wither away the effect of the song that was done prior to that. Otherwise, I would have said the song was a good song. It was spiritual in nature. It was all about his journey. It was all about making the right call. He's running for the kind of things. Initially, I think they don't matter, and then finally he found his purpose. Hopefully, that was supposed to be God in the song because it was mentioned into the arms of my God. I like that last into when he sang that and he stressed it. All that effect goes away when the song is the outro comes and so many times the backup singers keep singing. I know it makes it sound more spiritual and more gospel-like something, but then takes away from the real charm of the song that actually was created throughout the song, because they keep doing that and it gives a very typical sound to it instead of having it the sound that it already had, and that was good enough. But sometimes it's a little bit of judgment when we are creating something, how much of what goes well. Otherwise, for me it was a good song until the last outro.
Running from something or has deep meaning, by itself. Running from something, he's afraid to stop. He's mentioned in the lines somewhere along the way during all those repetitive lines that were sung. He mentioned that he's running in fear that he will fail. So it's quite deep. It doesn't only imply have spiritual implications. It also means that the person is scared of failure, scared of stopping, because if he stops, will he ever get to his destination once he starts again, running again? So it's got deep meaning, but it all gets too lost in the repetition. There's a way to repeat things, I'm sure, and there are some people who are mentioned, even though they repeat their lines, they sing it so uniquely that you don't mind the repetition. In this case, it was downright boring, by the end of it. So whatever happened at the beginning, when it started, it sounded like a really good song. But whatever happened towards the middle and the end, it just took away from the brilliance of the beginning. The guitar work was definitely the best part for me. And it there should have been more music in there between all this repetition, so that even if it was repeated, it would be balanced out. But sadly, as I said, most artists who do this so often, they don't hear themselves enough. Maybe they are so inspired by other people's music that they don't get the time, or they're so busy with their own profession and lives that they don't get the time to sit down and actually listen to their own music. People spend years on creating a song. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm talking about here. You can take years and maybe a lifetime to create a good song, a great song. But once you created it, how much time have you spent listening to it, before you put it out there. That's what I'm talking about. Most artists don't do that. I've spoken to many artists over the years. I've researched a lot of artists. I mean, not just now. I started my career in the music industry when I was in my early teens. So I literally know what I'm talking about. They spend so much time creating the song, very little time actually listening to it, what they've created. Don't know why.
It also
Maybe this is what he's talking about. He's just going ahead. He doesn't want to look back. He doesn't want to stop.
doesn't want to lag behind.
Doesn't want to take a breather. He's afraid that if he does that, he'll fail. Or whatever is rolling, the rolling stone, it may stop rolling.
There's this line that says, now I watch the young ones coming. So he's also seeing other people are catching up. And there's not much time. He has to make it in time. So it's also, fear of lagging behind. I like the way it started. The song started with a native kind of music that was playing, tribal music kind of thing. That should have been continued instead of giving it so much spiritual spin, which so many songs
I don't think
are.
it's spiritual so much.
I
It is
don't know,
spiritual.
with
It is spiritual.
backup
but-
singers,
but,
they tried creating that
there's a
sound.
way of doing all that. The way it went on from the middle to the end, the last 2 minutes, I think, were horrendous. It was horrendously done. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic. I can almost guarantee you this artist didn't hear this song more than 10 times in his own life. Actually listen to it, not just hear it. It was that pathetic, the repetition. That's it for this one.